અર્બન નક્સલ એ નવા રંગરૂપ સાથે પ્રવેશવાની કોશિશ કરી રહ્યા છે.
Well, any time now, election schedule for Gujarat is likely to be announced. But you're already seeing the scene is heating up with the Prime Minister making several trips to Gujarat. But not just him. The Aam Aadmi Party leader and the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal too is on a frequent visit to that state. The Congress, many would ask, where is it missing in action? I'm Pallavi Ghosh, and my this week's One Take essentially is now going to be focusing on this important state. And is it now going to be about a religious divide? Is it going to be about ethics? And is it going to be about Gujarati Asmita? Well, let's cut back very briefly to the last time the Gujarat elections were taking place. I was very much there covering the campaign, and everything seemed to be going well because the Congress was certainly on a high, because there were three so-called young leaders who had joined hands with Rahul Gandhi. As Rahul Gandhi travelled on a bus going through most of the parts of Gujarat, particularly focusing on the tribal and the backward areas, the point that he was trying to make was that we are going to give forward a new Gujarat, a Gujarat which fulfills the aspirations and it's not a cover-up operation. So you had Hardik Patel, you had Jignesh Mewani, you had Alpesh Thakur. None of them are at this point of time really with the Congress party. It was a very good performance, I would say, by the Congress, very good aggressive campaign, but suddenly things went wrong when Manishankar Iyer, bang in the midst of the campaign, called the Prime Minister a Neech Admi. It completely backfired on the Congress. The whole issue of Gujarati Asmita came up. Prime Minister BJP picked up on this issue, and the results were there to see. This time around too, the whole idea of Neech Admi has come back into focus when you have an AAP leader calling the Prime Minister Neech, and not only that, using a very derogatory word against the Prime Minister. Certainly he and the BJP are going to use this up in a campaign which is now becoming increasingly between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. But before we focus on what the issues are likely to be, what the direction the campaign is likely to be, let's also delve deeply into why is Gujarat important? Why is the BJP not cushy in this belief that, oh, we are going to win and we have nothing to worry about? And why is it that after Punjab, Gujarat matters to the AAP? On BJP, one, because that's their style. They don't take any election lightly. They never are very confident. They don't like to look confident. At least that's the messaging they try to send out. And therefore for them, every election is something which needs to be fought well and better the last time round. But I think this time round, the BJP really wants the numbers to be much, much better than the last time round, for the simple reason because they feel this is the one and the first and the only chance to actually downsize the Aam Aadmi Party. People do understand the style of working of Arvind Kejriwal. In fact, some say he thinks like the BJP, very aggressive, he knows how to play to the gallery, and he is a 24/7 politician. And he could be one challenger for 2024. And that is what the BJP wants to nix in the bud. And therefore, if in Gujarat, the BJP betters its performance like in the last time round, and the Aam Aadmi Party actually is reduced to a 3, it gives them hope. Now, if you remember earlier in the context of Goa elections, everyone thought that Trinamool Congress is going to emerge as a contender for 2024, and there was a fear factor and the TMC was very aggressive. But who does talk about the TMC now? It's clearly on a back foot, not only because of all those allegations and scams against him and also what is happening in Bengal, but the fact is that in Goa, where they had a very high voltage campaign, they got just 0 seats, whereas AAP joined into a game later and won those 2 seats. Once and for all, the BJP's calculation was that we have silenced the TMC. That's exactly the kind of strategy they want to adopt in Gujarat, because if the performance over here is even better than the last time round, they are going to say that we have silenced AAP once and for all. They are going to be no contender for 2024. At least that's the narrative which is going to break out. That's one factor. Let's talk about AAP. Why is it important for AAP? Well, it's very clear it's important for AAP because it wants to see itself as a national party, as a contender for 2024. And Punjab win, we have to give them credit, but it was considered to be a relatively easy win because their contenders or opponents were not really there. The BJP was not really there, the Akali Dal was tainted, and the Congress party was just about all over the place, yet not being there. But Gujarat is a huge challenge. If in Gujarat the AAP either wins, that's the calculation, or comes up as a close number 2 party, then they are certainly going to see themselves as a serious contender for the big Lok Sabha elections coming up. And that's the reason why the BJP wants to keep them away in control, and the AAP also wants to rise, but all of this is happening at the cost of the Congress party. Now in Gujarat elections last time round, it became about Asmita because a Neech tag was used by Manishankar Iyer, and I think this time round too, the Gujarati Asmita issue or the pride is going to be brought up by the Prime Minister and the BJP, where there are going to be those big bang rallies by top-notch ministers and leaders of the Congress party. But that's not the only strategy which is going to come up. It's also going to be about religion, because that is going to pay the stepstone for 2024. We've seen that controversy recently involving the AAP minister, who has of course had to resign, and that is because there was this whole charge of maligning Hinduism, converting people to Buddhism. No one was willing to listen to AAP argument that he himself belongs to the Ambedkarite school, and therefore you should not hold it against him. But the moment the Aam Aadmi Party sought his resignation, got it, they actually played into the hands of the BJP. And mind you, this is a narrative which is going to be picked up time and again, that Arvind Kejriwal sought his resignation, did not dismiss him, and he's anti-Hindu. Interesting that Arvind Kejriwal also talks like I am like Krishna Bhagwan. He talked about Hanuman Chalisa, if you remember, the last Lok Sabha elections, or in the Punjab elections, Delhi elections, and so on and so forth. He certainly wants to project himself as a Hindutva alternative to the BJP, which is why this election is definitely going to become about Muslim versus the Hindus. You know, it's not a coincidence that those posters have come up projecting Arvind Kejriwal as being a closet Muslim. Remember, in the last state elections, Maulana Ahmed Patel, or that you're going to have a Muslim chief minister. Ahmed was projected as the CM face of the Congress party. He had to go on record to notch it, because Congress was certainly emerging as a powerful alternative and putting up a very strong fight, and they did actually quite well, reasonably well, if you have to give them that credit. The same game is being played out, which is why I think the Gujarat elections are going to be about the Asmita, about the pride of Gujarat, development of Gujarat, which only a man who's come from Gujarat, who's been the CM, who can understand it, which is why those big bang development projects being announced regularly by the Prime Minister. But in a state like Gujarat, the polarization, the Hindu versus Muslim, that's going to be the calling card. But for the Aam Aadmi Party, if playing this card helps them, they're certainly going to use it in the other state elections, which they're going to be focusing on: Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, but more importantly, the 2024 elections. So the next Lok Sabha elections are definitely going to be played on the card of religion, once again, on who is a bigger Hindu. Do give in your reactions on the social media timeline. Thank you so much for watching, as always.